Hey everybody, what is up? This is Devin LaVore coming at ya. And today, man, I just want to kind of just share something. Just a little testimony of a breakthrough and just awesome things that God's doing within me. Michelle had something happen recently as well that was just like, it was literally God addressing. He just showed up by the Spirit and addressed something, a question she's been asking for 40 years of her life. And there's something that God has done with me also that I have been dealing with, basically this whole journey that we've been on since January 2017. That was the time that we stepped out of the boat and onto the water to do this journey where we're both just kind of doing this full time and depending on the Lord. And we did, the funny thing about this is we didn't even start doing support raising until 6 months into it. Because God was basically like, oh, I'm going to have you drain your savings. I'm going to have you drain everything you depend on so you can start depending on me. I'm like, okay. But before I get into that, I do want to say a huge thank you to all of you guys who do give to us and have been giving to us recently. We were able to make a payment here, partially. Every day is a day that accumulates money. Staying in we stay in a hotel, but it's a hotel that's like a long-term stay hotel, and so every day is a charge, and so it's been super awesome. Huge thank you. And for those of you who do want to give to us, we really appreciate it. We look forward to it. We need it. We want it. We love you for it. All those positive things. There's a Cash App, a Venmo, and a PayPal link below. You can choose either one of those. That's really all we have right now. And we are super appreciative, okay? And thank you ahead of time for that. Because we are always in some sort of need. It's a constant thing, which leads me to exactly what's been going on. True confession, I guess the true confessions part of this is like, I, as a husband, as a father, as a leader of my family, I'm very, 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 very serious about hearing from the Lord, man. I ain't playing no games. Man. I'm not trying to be Mr. Prophet so-and-so and Mr. Special Person this. No, I'm not. No. I just know that if the Lord is leading, it will be the right thing to do, right? And the Lord led us onto this. And, you can only imagine the level of wisdom and counsel that we have received from people who don't even know us or know our life, trying to tell us what we should do with our lives. Come on, you need to go somewhere else. But it was just like, we have to be accountable to God. We stand before God. It's like, God, if this is you, then you're going to have to provide, right? And so the true confessions part about this is like, man, ever since 2017 to this day, I worry about money. I am constantly worried about it. For those of you who see me, raising support, it's been a stretch for me. But then the Lord got me to this point where He's like, you're going to have to do these things. You need to learn how to just cast your nets, man. Don't sit there and wait for people to give. If you have a need, tell people what it is. And I'm like, man, that was a moment for me that stretched me beyond imagination. Because I never imagined that I would be doing that on videos. I never imagined I'd be doing this with my life for any length of time. Honestly, for me, I was just like, well, videos, that's just something you do. It's just like a thing you just throw out there to encourage the body of Christ. But you usually have something else going on, right? You got another thing that you're producing money, and God's like, no, this is what I'm going to do, And so I was like, okay. And sure enough, dude, from 2017 to this day, the Lord has provided, and He has never failed us one time. It blows my mind. Now, the more mind-blowing aspect of it is like, well, Devin, how can you be worried about money? Look at what God has done. I don't know. it is a heart issue. It's one of those issues of blood that the Lord is just going to have to come and touch. And then when he touches it, I will be healed. But listen to what happened. I get up. Sometimes I get up, and the first thing my heart is doing is just like, "Oh my gosh, what do we get anything today? Did anything come in? Because we need to make a payment. We need to make a payment. Do I need to make a casting the Nets video?" I literally, sometimes that's the first thing. It's just like, especially when things get really low. When things are not too low, it's not too bad, but that's kind of like how an issue of blood works, you know what I mean? Or some sort of physical thing. Sometimes it seems dormant and you're okay, but then it starts to flare up, I'm going to tell you another story. I had this wart on my finger, and I do not know where it came from, but it was there for a couple years, and I just tolerated it. But when it would flare up, man, it was a pain. And I was asking the Lord to heal it, and I was just like, I was just like in my mid-20s at the time, and I didn't know what to do with it, and I was just life at that time. It was structured in such a way where I wasn't really concerned about seeking remedies for it, right? And it was such a pain for such a long time that it just brought such grief to my heart to have it. And I'm depending on God, and I'm trying to trust in God. And I remember it is such a core memory, as if it just happened to me yesterday. And I was roommates with a guy who was a leader at a campus ministry in a college, and I was just living with him because we both went to the same church. And I was by myself, and I came out of my room, and I sat in this little kitchen area, and I just sat there, just so grieved, and just about life in general. But that wart was just like, it was like, I don't know, it was like you already got all these other things going on in your life, but then you have this other thing, this little tiny little thing that shouldn't be that big of a deal, that just becomes the biggest deal because it's like a thorn in the flesh type of thing. And so I sat down, and I was just like, God, would you please just heal this? And that was it. And then what would happen with this wart is it would shrink down, but it would leave like this little nub there to know that, like, I'm going to be back. After I prayed that prayer, it would shrink down like it normally did, and it shrunk away completely. And I've never had it since then. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, whoa, that's amazing, because that's kind of how those flare-ups are. And so that's kind of how this worry about money thing is, because sometimes I go through I'm just being totally open to you guys right now. Whoever wants to encourage me, great. Whoever wants to criticize me, great. It doesn't matter either way. Of course, encouragement always matters. But it's just something I deal with, especially when you consider, like, some of the offerings we've received and what the great things that we've been able to do with them, but then the Lord keeps us in this situation, and then eventually it just goes away, guys. And it's just like, oh my God, I'm like, dude, God, how long, oh Lord? I'm like one of the people underneath the throne in Revelation. Like, how long, oh Lord? And it's just like, here, have a white robe. A white robe? Can I spend it? You know what I'm saying? Is this gonna make me some money? Can I sell it? Is that what you're giving it to me for? You know what I'm saying? But I just think about it all the time. I worry about it all the time. And so the Lord this morning, Sunday, July 30th. The Lord's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's the same thing that happened to Michelle, where she just got this answer from the Lord, and it was just like, oh my gosh, this solves something I've been dealing with for a long time. And I'm going to tell you, I'm still kind of walking it out, right now, because it's all new for me. But the Lord was like, Devin, buddy, no child ever takes out their own wallet and says, Dad, I got this one. You know what I'm saying? No. What do children do, Dev? It's like, well, and I just knew, you know how you go through the conversation with the Lord, but you know exactly where he's going with it, you know? And I was like, well, they ask. And then, of course, a flood of scriptures just present themselves in my mind of just how many times Jesus spoke about asking, how many times it's in the Old Testament, how many times it's in the epistles about asking, in 1 John chapter 5 about asking. It's just so much about ask. And a friend of mine has been singing the prophetic number 154 lately, or 155, and it has to do with about requesting. You know, 154, G154, and G155 have to do about asking and requesting. And that was what I was getting this morning, was about the about, you know, the Lord was like, that's what they do, Dev. And then my son was watching this YouTube video, and I looked over, and I was like, the Lord was just kind of looking, because it's a father and a son, and he's like, look, that little guy right there, what? How does he get everything? How does he get everything he needs? From tissue, to toothpaste, to toothbrush, to hairbrush, to shampoo, to food, to clothing, everything. He doesn't get it because he goes out and he gets his own money, and then he goes and it's like, now naturally, of course, we need money. We need money to do things, right? I'm not trying to come up with some weird heresy or any kind of weird thing. And the Lord was like, I understand you need money and all that, but let's put that aside for a second and think about this, Dev. You are in a position where I am your father, you know? I'm the one who gives to you, you know? And in the midst of everything you're going through, yes, I have been teaching you some things and stretching you in some areas, and then stretching you again, and then getting you to the breaking point. Yep, that's kind of how you do when you're a dad. You do these kinds of things. It's like, but ultimately, literally everything you have in your life right now, it comes from me. It's like, if this was not my will, you would not be. It's like, you are in my house. You are under my care. I am going to take care of you. It is my responsibility. Now, for a lot of people, they might hear that and be like, well, yeah, no duh. Like, why is that? But for me, it was almost, and I've heard this stuff before many times, but sometimes you get to this point in your life where the thing that you've heard a million times, it just boom, it sinks in, you know, or it opens you up in some sort of way, you know. The Lord gave me a word recently talking about, I'm about to break hearts, meaning I'm about to break them open. And I feel like the Lord, that's what's been happening with me and Michelle the last couple days. And with me this morning, it was like the Lord just kind of broke open my heart and I just saw it just so plainly. Like, yes, I'm a father. Yes, I am a husband. Yes, I have responsibilities. Yes, I do have that. I am responsible to be obedient to the word of God. I have all of that. But the Lord's like, you do that all under the umbrella of the Father, and you are a son. And I'm just like, whoa. And so it was hitting me in a way that was just like, I couldn't come up with this summation statement and then make some teaching video on it. That's why this is just sharing this. I really felt led to just share this testimony that, like, man, God definitely broke open my heart, and I just saw. And there was just a sense of like rest and peace, no matter what's going on in our lives financially, which is almost always barely making it. Almost always. There are certain people who give to us pretty generously, but it's like literally just enough. And so there's more to this. And it's like, I just can just feel a sense of rest and peace just starting to seep in. It wasn't like a let there be light and boom, there was this, you know. No, it was just starting to creep in. I'm just like, wow, yeah. And there was just something that started to just happen to me where I was just starting to just like not worry. I was starting to worry less. And it was just, it was a huge deal for me because it just doesn't happen. I don't get those kind of breakthroughs, you know, that often, where it's just like, and this was a breaking through. It was God's heart just broke in, and he just spoke to me, and he was just like, hey man, I'm responsible for you. I got you. I'm going to take care of you. And it's because I take care of you, that's how you can take care of your family. I understand how the structure works. I'm the one who invented it. I'm the one who implemented the structure, And so I'm going to take care of you so that you can take care of your family, but you can also take care of others. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's amazing. And I'm just like, I don't know why it hit me the way it hit me and why suddenly it opened. I just give God the glory for it. And so that's what the Lord was doing. And I really felt like the Lord was like saying, now listen, the reason you have been on barely enough is because I have made it that way. I have done it. Listen, I can go and speak to anyone and I can say, hey, go give to this family this amount and they will do it. But I've orchestrated orchestrated your life in such a way, Devin, because I'm trying to do a thing. And you have let me do that thing, and I have been doing that thing, and the thing is turning out amazing. If you could just see it from my perspective, but even if you can't, and that's fine, trust me. Trust my perspective that I have orchestrated your life to be such a way. And I have orchestrated it so that you live only on just this one little shelf of provision. And then if I want to do a different thing in your life, I put it on someone's heart to give you that amount of money, and then you go do that thing. And then when you come back, guess what? You're right back in the same situation that I have designed for you to be in. And the Lord's like, listen, I have provided for you in the wilderness in the exact same way that I want to provide for you in the wilderness. What you think I'm going to do when you get to the palace, brother? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what do you think I'm going to do when you get to the manifestation side? If I want you to get there and I'm saying, okay, they are done being in this place, I'm going to now move them into this place. How do you think I'm going to provide for you there? If I desire for your life to be lavish, if I desire for your life to be extravagant, if I desire for your life to be super overabundant with just provision out the ears, you know what I'm saying? Then I will decree that and I will implement that and I will make that happen because I will be trying to do something there and I will be looking for your cooperation there. And you see what I'm saying? And so the Lord's like, it's me. I'm the dad. I'm the one taking you through all of this, okay? And so super, super huge encouragement for me. And this is just Devin getting on here testifying of something God has cracked open, something he started. I'm hoping Michelle will get on and share her thing, but I think she has it slated for the video that we're going to do together at some point, hopefully tonight or tomorrow night, and then you guys will have it tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon or the next day or something like that. It all depends on different factors, but I just wanted to share that with you guys and say God is amazing on every level. He's not just amazing for your immediate needs and your immediate thing and the immediate thing he's doing in your life right now and helping you walk through it. He's just amazing on every level, and what he's working in your life is so important to him, and his eyes are on it. Even when we fall asleep, even when we have oil in our lamp and we're falling asleep, it doesn't matter. He's not. He never sleeps or slumbers. and what he's working in your life is so amazing, and that he has got you under his wing, the faithful and those who fear and revere his name. He's got you under his wing, and faithful is he who has called you, and he will bring it to pass. I think that's 1 Thessalonians 5:23. I'll look it up if I get a chance. But anyway, I do hope that encourages you guys. And yes, if you can give to us, that would be super great. The links are below. But yeah, man, this is just a super, super awesome, encouraging time. And I believe that we have come out of the straits the narrow place and we're starting to go into a wider place. You know, we'll see what that means and how that reflects in our life. But anyway, I hope you guys were encouraged by that. So me and Michelle will probably be coming at you together here pretty soon on the next video. So until then, be encouraged and know that you are loved by the Father. Amen. All right, bye-bye.